Hello, I'm Maria Hall Brown, and this is LA Currents. LLCs, 1099s, sole proprietorships, corporations. If you own a business, here in Los Angeles, I should say, more than likely you will be dealing with the Office of Finance. It's a complicated world out there, but fortunately we're going to get some good answers. So I'm delighted to welcome to LA Currents the Director of Finance, Deanna Mangiolu. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, all right. So the Office of Finance for the City of Los Angeles encompasses a very large scope of responsibility. So in a nutshell, frankly, what does it do?
Well, our two core functions are, we are, number one, the city's tax collector. So we collect half of the city's general fund related taxes. So that includes our annual business tax that businesses file, the transit occupancy tax, which is a tax that's paid on a monthly basis by guests that stay within our hotels within the city boundaries, parking occupancy tax, and utility users tax. So we're responsible for collecting those taxes. We're also responsible for collecting permits, fees, and fines on behalf of other city departments as well. And second, we are the city treasurer. So we manage the city's cash, which is unlike managing the budget. The budget, which is more based on a plan and it's managed by our office of the CAO. Our responsibility is to manage the city's cash and to ensure that we have enough cash to pay for our outgoing daily responsibilities, monthly responsibilities, and project out annually, and also to ensure that we are managing cash that's flowing into the city, our depositories, and ensure that we are investing that cash prudently and that we have it liquid and available for when we need it.
Since this is one of those unorthodox periods in time that nobody could have predicted anything, some special things have gone into place, including a tax penalty amnesty program. And that is still going on. But what are the parameters of a tax amnesty program, and who can take advantage of it, and what are the benefits?
So essentially, it is a program that has been operating since October 1st and will be lasting through December 17, and it allows any business doing business within the city of Los Angeles that should, whether they're registered or not, to essentially come clean and pay for any back taxes that they owe, including principal and interest, and in exchange, the city will waive all penalties associated with those delinquent accounts, which is pretty significant because some of these accounts and cases result in penalties that add up to 40% of the actual amount that's due.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
So we felt that it was important, especially during a time like this, during the time of a pandemic, when it's been really difficult for businesses that are struggling, to allow for an opportunity to reduce that burden on them. You can submit an application online, you can call us, contact us, and our tax and permit enforcement staff are happy to help.
Sometimes, in the grander scheme of things, if you owe federal taxes, you can negotiate a payment plan. Is that part of this tax amnesty? If you are willing to fess up and say, look, I'm in arrears and my penalties are so that I would like to get them off the books and start, paying my taxes, my principal, and my interest, do you, at the Office of Finance, offer a payment program of any kind?
We do. So as part of the tax penalty amnesty program, we offer an installment plan.
Okay.
And so our billing unit would be able to structure a payment plan that works for both the taxpayer and also ensures that those taxes are collected before the end of the fiscal year.
What if you're an independent contractor? Because that's been a very dubious and an interesting issue here in the state of California. I mean, especially when you start talking about some of the 1099 independent contractor status has been changed, or there's been fights to make them employees, and there's been fights against wanting to be an employee. So if you are an independent contractor and you live and work in the city of Los Angeles, do you also get a business tax registration, or is that just something between you and the federal government when it comes to you paying your federal and state taxes?
You're still required to file for your business registration tax certificate.
Really?
Yes.
And if you're a nonprofit, or quote unquote a 501c3?
If you're a nonprofit as well, so long as you're engaging in any business, so long as you generate a profit, you're subject to the renewal.
Interesting. There's an enormous amount of help for people out there if they need to get the permit, or if they need to understand what their business responsibilities are, or if they just, want to learn more. Because I imagine, especially in the pandemic, people who might have lost their jobs or are rethinking who they are might want to open a business or start an entrepreneurial effort of some kind. And there's a lot that the Office of Finance offers.
So we have resources that are available on our website that essentially finance.lacity.org that essentially provides instructions for how to start a business, how to file for your business tax registration certificate, how to renew that, what are some other regulatory ordinances that you need to be aware of depending upon the type of business that you're in. We also have a business portal for businesses that are just starting, and has resources and information that allows you to get information on how to manage and grow your business.
Okay, so we are in LA, and LA, of course, is the entertainment capital of the world. And I was really, really interested in some of the exemptions that different organizations get. So what is the creative artist exemption?
The creative...
And can I have it? No, I'm kidding.
Well, perhaps, so the creative artist exemption is available to those individual creative artists that essentially make money from their creative activities. And if you are an artist that generates, has a gross income specifically related to your creative activities, that does not exceed $300,000, then you are exempt from paying business tax.
Okay, so if I'm an artist and I have a gallery, or I'm an artist and I sell my art, or I'm a musician and I perform, and I actually have business in that regard. Okay, well, I think the $300,000 probably encompasses most of the creative artists, because unless of course you're someone like a major producer. All right, and then on the flip side of that, there's also incentives for having entertainment production here in Los Angeles, and so I know that there's been some incentives there, and that's that there's an entertainment production cap.
Yes, and the entertainment production cap specifically refers to those businesses that are motion picture, television, radio producers, and essentially it caps the amount of tax that those businesses pay based on production cost. So unlike other businesses where we base the tax on gross receipts, here we base it on production cost. And so, for example, if one of those businesses were to produce something that were to cost anywhere from $12 million or above, regardless of how high that goes, their tax is capped at $9,245.
Oh, okay. So even if they gross and or net billions and billions of dollars internationally. Well, that's an incentive to do production here as well, I'm sure.
Make sure to renew your tax certificate on time before March 1st so that you don't compromise that exemption.
All of these questions and everything that anyone could possibly want to know about the Office of Finance is available at
our website, which is finance.lacity.org.
All right. Thank you for making all of this feel manageable.